I'm going to introduce now is a serial entrepreneur, investor, author and international award-winning coach in the UK and India. With the intent of giving back to the planet Earth, he spends 20% of time on social work, specific to change, empowerment, self-help, self-employment, responsible global citizenship, and as such in 7 countries. He touched 30,000 minds as on date. He is on a mission to touch 1 million minds by 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Vishwanath Kokonda.
Thank you very much for this invite, gentlemen. Yes, sir. So good afternoon, one and all. I'm glad to be here on this day with the August gathering, and understand that people are allied here, well informed. And the topic I picked up is the buzzword, artificial intelligence, which we are all part of it unknowingly. You all accept it, right? Rather, I often hear people telling that are we victims of artificial intelligence practices, right? Because the element of ethics, right, are still, ought to be further reviewed and brought into practice and place. So, I thought while we were contemplating with Mr. Hasin and team, what is that which could really add value? Probably I thought it won't be an educative session but a reiterative session for all of us here, right? All of us are reasonably informed about AI and AI practices and AI prevalence in our markets. Okay, so now what is the necessity of this AI practices for the present day businesses? So I thought let me quickly run through this business landscape. Now, business landscape is constantly changing due to several factors such as advancements in technology, changes in consumer behavior, globalization and new business models. And now to answer these things, right, to address these things, these are the reasons, like digital transformation which we're hearing, it's another buzzword where we talk about or hear about cloud computing, big data analytics, artificial intelligence and then IoT. Now, e-commerce has disrupted traditional brick and mortar retail by allowing businesses to sell products online. Alibaba's and Amazon's or our daily, things which are happening in our home every day. And then changing consumer behavior because of demand in personalized experiences, convenience and sustainability. This concept of this necessity of changing consumer behavior, addressing has become very important. And then gig economy. Gig economy is changing the way people work and types of businesses that are successful. This includes companies such as Uber, Airbnb and TaskRabbit. Finally, the globalization. The world is becoming more interconnected and businesses are increasingly operating in a global marketplace. This requires businesses to understand and navigate different cultural norms and regulations and business practices. Now, I was trying to set the tone for the conversation on the AI practices necessity for businesses. So this landscape becomes necessary and is necessitating the necessity of, especially startups and SMEs aligning to the AI practices. Now, there are a lot of AI definitions which you might have come across. I know most of you might have not even thought of what is the definition of AI, and I found a very good simple definition which makes us understand, and if you already know, you could relate to what you know. So at its most basic, AI is software that mimics and generates human behaviors, planning, generating ideas, understanding speech and visuals. Its ability to scale human intellect which will have a profound impact. Now, let's understand what is software and what is artificial intelligence. Now, with normal software, we program rules and formulas or use conditional logic to automate the software. AI doesn't need human attributed rules, right? This is some subtle and fine difference between normal software and the software related AI. To understand the significance, we should look back to the Industrial Revolution. Humans created machines that mimicked human muscles and replicated the work of human hands and legs. Machines scaled hard human labor. It transformed the world. Likewise, AI will scale our cognitive abilities, enhancing healthcare, transport, education, customer-centric experiences. It will have a profound effect on human efforts. Now, let me throw some light on cognitive abilities. We all use the word cognition in our daily life, right? Or at least intermittently we use the word cognitive. Cognitive refers to the finer aspects of thinking, observation, analysis, pattern building, and then reflections. So all these become part of a cognition. Okay. Now AI is something which will empower businesses, right, or enterprises, even public or private enterprises, to have that through software programs. Now, the industry overview is AI could potentially create $13 trillion economy in additional economic activity globally by 2030. The global AI market size is expected to reach $733 billion by 2027. The expected global spending on AI systems in 2023 is $98 billion, and so on and so forth. There's a lot, to kind of run through, and these are just some highlights where entrepreneurs could keep in mind. Now let's throw some light on these buzzwords AI, ML, NN, and deep learning. Right? AI is the most commonly used word, but let's quickly understand AI. I already spoke about AI, some beautiful interpretation given by a person. Now AI is the bigger domain under which machine learning and neural networks and deep learning falls. Now, machine learning is nothing but technologies that can accomplish specific tasks such as playing chess, recommending your next Netflix TV show, and identifying spam emails. You understand? So, when we are seeing something on Amazon where Amazon is trying to propose something to us to buy, right, as stating most people like you have bought this, it means it's an outcome of machine learning. Okay, and then neural networks. Neural networks are a specific group of algorithms used for machine learning that model data using graphs of artificial neurons. These neurons are a mathematical model that mimics approximately how a neuron in the brain works. So this is a very highly technical, practice which are used, right? Business probably we do not use much of this. And deep learning. Deep learning is the word deep comes from the fact that DL algorithms are run on deep neural networks. These are just neural networks with 3 or more hidden layers. Okay. Now, we often come across facial recognition, visual recognition, things, in blogs and in the write-ups. Okay. Now, this deep learning specifically points to that part of, this AI landscape. Now, in a nutshell, these are all those things which would AI cater to. Okay, we would just quickly run through each of these things so that we could go into the topic of how this AI could, kind of help startups and SMEs sustain, because that's the crux of what we are trying to talk today. Because I also started my entrepreneurial journey pretty much 10 years back, and I had my own pains and struggles, and then I had to hard learn many things, and I had to hard learn even digitalizing. I come from this era, but when I was pursuing my graduation, even laptop and the computer was a big, a fortune or a wealth sort of thing. So I had to hard learn to digitalize, and then that's why I'm leaving this topic, and this has become my, main service offering now to my clients. So benefits of AI in a nutshell. Okay, improves efficiency and productivity. Now there is a lot of text here. I would like to keep it short to explain how it could improve efficiency and productivity. There is a situation with one of our clients that they had 600 employees working in the office. Okay, but always the weekly reports state that 60% of the tasks are pending in the office, right? Sales department, CRM department, operations department. Now, salaries are being shelled out every month, right? And their recruitment process is also standard. They're doing very good. They're putting great effort in recruiting right people for their organization. But still, the productivity is low, and then they're unable to actually get tasks done. So we deployed a simple, solution for it, and then later we got it enabled with an algorithm that is helping the organization understand who exactly, in the 600 people or those who are actually contributing for the SLA failures within the organization, right? To arrive at this particular solution, how much did it cost for the company? Can anybody guess? Can anybody guess? Couple of thousands of pounds. Couple. Right? Now, if 40% of 600 people are not working 2 hours per day effectively, you can understand the loss to the company. Right? Just with a couple of thousands of pounds, that thing got addressed. Okay. Now, coming to better decision making. AI can analyze large amounts of data. We all know that, right? We have limitations. Human mind has limitations to, kind of look at data, process data, analyze data, interpret the data, which, AI things could do. Personalization. AI can be used to personalize the customer experience, tailoring products and services to individual needs and preferences. This can improve customer satisfaction and loyalty. Nowadays, you see, in shopping, right, we are able to see digital avatars, and we are able to put our clothes on the digital avatars, right, instead of traveling to the place and then putting on clothes in fitting rooms, and there is nothing but an AI application. So, increased security. AI can help identify potential security threats and prevent cyber attacks. Here, one of our clients had, they're into some sensitive business, they're making a lot of money, and their competitors within London, their competitors try to hack their site at least 3,000 times in a period of 7 months. Right? In spite of having all the controls, in spite of having the team in place, in spite of having the best of the best people, right? They couldn't do that. Now, we approached another service provider, and we are able to predict when this is happening and when it is going to happen, and this extra preparation is helping them address these attacks better. Okay, and then cost savings. By automating tasks and improving efficiency, businesses can save on labor costs and other expenses. Now, coming to saving costs, the example which I could take is now this particular solution of deploying, in a digital marketing practice, okay, where people have to do, targeted, campaigns, right? It needs a lot of effort to understand demographics, psychographics, and then, specifically target particular customer segment group in a city or a location or a particular age group. Now, we have subscribed for an AI tool, a marketing AI tool, okay, and then run a campaign, and then within a couple of hours, it will be able to precisely show us from which region customers are clicking our ads, from which age group people are clicking our ads. So all these, right, would save a cost, isn't it? And then competitive advantage. Businesses that leverage AI technology can gain a competitive advantage over those who do not. Okay, this is of course the crux of this. Now, let's skip this because of the shortage of time. It's nothing but repetitive. Let's get into the SME part. AI's relevance to small businesses. Small businesses are backbone of any economy. They're essential for creating jobs, boosting innovation, and driving economic growth. However, small businesses often face many challenges, including limited resources, competition from larger companies, and lack of access to technology. This is where AI comes in. I was telling that I turned entrepreneur 10 years back, a decade back, and then precisely 12 years back, and then I was telling I had a tough ride, journeying into the entrepreneurship, and then I had to hard learn digitalization. Okay, now that is what is being propagated now. Had I had access to, just for example, how many of you are using Chat GPT? Have you attempted Chat GPT? Right? So, I mean, we are used to Google, I mean, search engines and all. I was experimenting with Chat GPT a couple of weeks back. I mean, it has made so many things very easy. Right? Specific question and specific answer. And then, I mean, we have a couple of apprentices working in our place, okay, at my workplace. So, earlier I had to spend time with each one of them to explain them, to make them understand. Now, we actually help them understand, help them use Chat GPT in a way where they will be able to get some specific pointers as to what they should be doing, and then at a later stage they work with my team and managers and then get the work done. Okay, so this is how, I'm able to save some time. I'm able to effectively utilize my time within the office. So how AI can complement small businesses? When the example which I have taken is explaining about the efficiency and productivity, and then I could also free up employees to focus on more strategic activities, and also risk of human error and improved accuracy. Now I don't think this needs explanation, and then make more informed decisions by analyzing large amounts of data. Now, the example which I've taken for marketing campaigns, we have used another AI tool, right? It doesn't belong to us. And then after campaign runs for a couple of hours, it will be able to give us 60 different versions of the image which we create, and 60 ad sets actually, right? Just instantaneously, and within the same budget, the campaign will be hitting all, through all ad sets to a target audience. And then we have seen that within shorter time and at a less lead cost, we are able to get high quality leads, right? So this proves the point that yes, it is also saving our costs. So now examples of small businesses that have successfully implemented AI technologies. Luminance is a legal technology company that uses AI to help lawyers review contracts and their legal documents. The company's AI software can analyze large volumes of text and identify important clauses, potentially saving lawyers time. Right? Grammarly, most of you might have come across Grammarly, how it's helping you. And then Freenome is a biotechnology company that uses AI to develop early cancer detection tests. The company's AI software can analyze blood samples and identify subtle changes that may indicate presence of a cancer. Okay, this is a recent one. ChatFuel is a chatbot platform, right? Now you know how chatbots have become part and parcel of our life. Anything you open, any website you open, they are engaging us and helping us with all the right insights. And Zest Finance is a fintech company that uses AI to analyze credit worthiness. The company's AI software can analyze data from a variety of sources, including social media and online activity, to determine a person's credit risk. Zest Finance has raised over 200 million in funding and has partnerships with major financial institutions. Let me also tell you, one of the company which I worked, one of the big four companies which I worked for, and they are the pioneers, I should say, in using AI in HR practices, right? I was a senior management professional. I had access to a lot of information and meetings with the organization. I cannot take the name of the company, but they were experimenting on who would resign from the enterprise. This was, 8 years back actually. Who would resign from the company, right? And the case study which we worked on while we were working on this is now which employee might leave next year. Which employee from a company might leave in coming 3 years? Which employee might stay with us for a longer time? These were the prototypes which were being worked on at the point of time. I am not technical guy, I am a functional guy, okay? And my job was to interpret technical requirements into functionalities, right? But I have been a propagator of it, and I have been effective, kind of propagator of this. So now, yeah, we have been talking about all these things. Marketing AI tools. People, marketing is nothing but the gateway for an enterprise for revenues. Okay, so because I'm also on UK government's mentor board as a coach to startups and SMEs within the UK. So day in and day out, I work with startup company owners, and I have discussions with them. I understand that most people come with a lot of passion, most people come with great ideas, but I perceived that their knowledge or their understanding or their association with this knowledge of digitalization and AI is going missing, right? And that's how that has come into my company's offering as a digital transformation practice now. Okay, so Marketo, HubSpot, IBM Watson, Salesforce Einstein, Adext, Acquisio. These are some marketing AI tools which are available. I don't belong to any of them. Okay, I'm not propagating them. But out of many tools which are available as of now, I understood these few are actually adding immense value. We have the facility to experiment, to test them for a while, and then understand the functionality and then get ahead. And then these are free AI tools. Okay, Google Analytics. I'm sure every person, every entrepreneur is using Google Analytics. HotSuite, HubSpot CRM, Zoho CRM, Trello, Canva, Grammarly. We have these are buzzwords. And then actions for all of us. Now AI also gives me hope for our biggest challenge, reaching net zero. Now this is vision, arrived at on AI practices for businesses, specific to startups and SMEs, right? Reaching net zero. What is reaching net zero? The transition will mean optimizing everything we do, every process, every production, right? Right now, AI is in kind of growth stage. It has crossed budding stage. It's in growth stage, right? A lot of companies are picking it up, and a lot of positive reviews are coming about the usage of it, and also the ease of using it, the ease of adopting it. Also, is picking up, and that's how the target is optimizing everything we do, right? Every process, every production. Now, AI can help business and help the public good. Now, when I say business, private and public enterprises, and when I'm referring to the public good, it's the government, right, which is supporting people, right, agriculture, right, and whatever happens within a geographical location within the which has a particular law. So when it's laser focused on what customers need. Okay, now we all know weak AI and specific AI. AI has one second branches. Now some areas of AI, they focus on things which are needed now, which will actually help them what people want with what people want, and some areas of AI talks about what people might need in the future. Okay, now that's why it is being suggested that if you are laser focused, right, what is being laser focused, specifically getting ahead with what is needed rather than being too exploratory is what is being referred to as laser focused. And ethical AI can approve customers timely loans or financial aid equitably. Now this word equitably, right, is something which we have to keep in mind. Now also this word equitably and sustainability are those words which come across very frequently when you're talking in the context of business and enterprises. Okay, so now it can produce relevant services for customers when they need them. A small business role at the right time means that business survives and provides local employment. So now here to sum up, right, what we did chat, right, we did chat about AI and AI's relevance and AI's relevance for startups and SMEs, and then we kind of touched upon those tools which are kind of helping startups and SMEs, and then free tools, and finally the future and actions for all of us belonging to the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Okay, so with this I would like to end, and then any specific questions I would love to have now, or I'm here for a while, and then we could also catch up offline.